Hey everyone, good morning. Good morning. Just wanted to shoot a very quick video here in relation to a topic that I'm very passionate about when it comes to the profession of estate agency. And yes, I do believe it's a true profession, and that is the literally the topic of dressing for success. So I genuinely believe that a lot of estate agents out there are not dressing for success and are actually undermining their ability to get premium fees because they don't dress appropriately. And the parallel I will give you is if you were to go into a Rolls-Royce showroom, for example, and you were going to spend 250 or 300,000 pounds on a car, one would expect that person to be dressed appropriately, whether that's in a three-piece suit or not, but you wouldn't expect them to be in, a tracksuit or jeans and trainers and that sort of thing. And it's about setting that professional standard. And I'll give you a parallel from my own life, which is I used to compete against an old boy estate agent many years ago, and this guy was a true professional. He's also a true gentleman. He would always turn up immaculately presented, very well groomed. He'd turn up in his classic Jaguar, usually to appointments. And I always used to dread going in after he'd been in there because you knew that he was going to walk away with the business. And as I say, he was not only immaculately presented, but it was his profession. And he genuinely felt as though he ought to set that minimum aesthetic standard of dressing like a true professional, turning up like a true professional, speaking like a true professional, and ultimately giving the clients the confidence they needed that he was the right guy for the job. And inevitably, he always won the instruction. Okay. And not only that, he always won it at a premium fee. That's an example that I've always taken with me throughout my life. And I think it's important from your perspective as an estate agent that if you're trying to get those premium fees, if you're sick and tired of the race to the bottom on fees, I would ask, how are you showing up? Are you dressing professionally? Are you dressed in a three-piece suit, or are you dressed in a two-piece suit if it's the summer or something of that nature? Or are you dressed in what I'm seeing is quite the trend now, is those sort of polo shirts or linen shirts, or what is it now, the trousers that are just a little bit too short, and those floppy bottom shoes. And I just don't think it's showing the right approach as far as being a true professional is concerned. And some of you might be sitting there going, well, yeah, but Silas, that's great and everything. But what if I start dressing like a true professional and I actually, all of my competition are dressing like true amateurs? Well, that's great in my opinion. You want to be setting that standard. You want to be setting that that confidence level in your clients that, yeah, you are a true professional and you dress for success, and you're showing up like a true professional. That is absolutely my take on it. And if you're thinking, well, what if I start dressing like a true professional and I look like a bit of a wally because nobody else is doing it, or what, I'm still not getting those premium fees? Well, my response to that would be, are you playing the part of a true professional estate agent, or is that your true identity? And what's the difference between the two? Well, we all know when somebody's acting, right? We can tell straight away whether they're on stage or whether you're in the presence of somebody who's playing a part or acting in some way. You will understand that that person is not being congruent and authentic in who they are. Whereas when somebody's living that true identity, you understand that that person is congruent in who they are, right? So if you offer, an example I would give you is if you offered a cigarette to a non-smoker, they will not accept it because they're a non-smoker. There's no, decision about it. That's the truth. That's the parallel. Okay, so I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Feel free to drop a comment below. Let's get the conversation started. I know this can be a bit of a controversial topic. I speak to one or two of the, shall we say, the older breed estate agents who very much agree with me with what I'm saying. I know the younger generation very much don't agree. They think that along with this working from home, we can be in our slacks and our dressing gowns and everything else. I do believe that we need to set higher standards in the profession if we're to get those higher fees. So I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know. Drop a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you guys on another video very soon. You take care.